I hoped I could begin anew. After all, now no one knows who I really am. Now I'm just a ghost in their lives.
Look at you with the school spirit.
The price of great power is just that. I don't know what the new day will bring me, but I feel like at some point everything will change.
Cretton as the new director for Spider-Man
I may be nobody to everyone,
has become one of the hottest
but I'm still
topics in the Marvel
Spider-Man.
fan community, sparking
This is my
both
destiny.
excitement and apprehension.
You thought you could run from your
Fans of
past,
Spider-Man
Parker?
are keen to see how the next installment of the Web-Slinger's story unfolds, especially with the changing creative leadership. Cretton, who made a significant impact with Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings, takes over from Jon Watts, the director who successfully helmed the first 3 Spider-Man films within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. While many are optimistic about Cretton's involvement, others have voiced concerns regarding the potential shifts in tone and storytelling that might arise from this change in direction. Destin Daniel Craton, from Shang-Chi to Spider-Man. Destin Daniel Craton's transition from directing Shang-Chi to taking the reins of Spider-Man 4 is a notable one, given the differing tones of the 2 superhero franchises. Shang-Chi brought a fresh energy to the MCU, infusing the film with martial arts action and deeply emotional storytelling. Cretton's ability to create high-stakes action sequences while maintaining the character development at the film's core made it one of the standout MCU films. The decision to bring him on board for Spider-Man suggests that Marvel is eager to bring a new dimension to Peter Parker's world, perhaps infusing it with more dynamic action and a stronger narrative focus. In the wake of the announcement, fans have been quick to weigh in on what this change in creative direction might mean. Cretton's track record with Shang-Chi, which received widespread praise for its action choreography and heartfelt storytelling, has led to a surge of optimism. His handling of fight sequences was particularly lauded for their fluidity, emotion, and realism. Many fans are eager to see how this expertise will translate into Spider-Man's high-flying acrobatic action sequences, which are integral to the character's identity. I'm excited about the possibility of seeing Spider-Man in more hand-to-hand combat situations, said one Reddit user, referencing the fight choreography from Shang-Chi. Cretton's ability to make action sequences not just about the punches, but about the character's emotional stakes really excites me for Spider-Man 4. There's also speculation that Cretton might bring over some of his trusted collaborators from Shang-Chi, including the film's fight choreographer, which has further fueled excitement about the action style in the upcoming film. Many fans are hopeful that the action scenes will be a standout feature of Spider-Man 4, perhaps even elevating the franchise's trademark web-slinging to new heights. The shift in tone a cause for concern? Despite the enthusiasm surrounding Cretton's appointment, some fans are concerned about how his unique style will affect the tone of Spider-Man 4. One of the defining features of the first 3 Spider-Man films under Jon Watts was their perfect balance of humor, high school drama, and superhero action. These films blended light-hearted moments with emotional stakes, giving the character of Peter Parker a relatable, grounded quality that resonated with audiences. Many fans fear that the more serious and action-themed approach Cretton took in Shang-Chi might make Spider-Man 4 feel tonally different, perhaps even darker or more intense than what audiences are used to. I loved Shang-Chi, but it was more serious and emotionally intense compared to Spider-Man, said one Reddit user. I just hope Spider-Man 4 doesn't lose its charm and lightness. Peter Parker is a teenager, and I want to see that humor and relatability still shine through. There is also speculation that the emotional stakes of Peter's journey might be handled differently under Cretton's direction. While Shang-Chi balanced action with deep emotional exploration, some fans worry that the weight of the story might overshadow Spider-Man's personal struggles. Peter's journey has always been one of growth. From his initial days as an awkward high schooler to his evolution into a more responsible hero. With Cretton at the helm, there are questions about whether the tone will shift too far from the character's traditional roots, focusing more on global or multiversal threats instead of Peter's personal development. The multiverse and the direction of Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man No Way Home famously explored the multiverse, bringing in characters from previous Spider-Man films and giving fans a spectacle of epic proportions. This left many wondering what direction Spider-Man 4 will take. Some fans are eager to see the multiverse continue to play a role in Spider-Man's story, while others are concerned that it could overshadow Peter's personal journey. "I think the multiverse is exciting, but I don't want it to take over Spider-Man 4, commented one user. "Peter's been through so much already, and I really hope the focus stays on him rather than just endless cameos from other universes." It's worth noting that Cretton's involvement in Spider-Man 4 could mark a significant shift in the franchise's direction. If the film embraces a more grounded, character-driven narrative, it could help refocus the character of Spider-Man on his personal challenges rather than introducing endless multiversal storylines. At the same time, Cretton's previous success with creating compelling action sequences and emotional beats in Shang-Chi suggests that he could effectively balance the action-packed elements with character-driven moments. Fans are also curious about the potential inclusion of new characters in the upcoming film. Shang-Chi introduced several characters with deep backstories, and some believe that Spider-Man 4 could benefit from similar character-driven storytelling, bringing in new faces that complement Peter Parker's world. However, fans are cautious that too many new characters or too much emphasis on the larger MCU could detract from the core focus on Spider-Man's journey. Fans' expectations for Spider-Man's character development. One of the biggest reasons fans are invested in the direction of Spider-Man 4 is the character of Peter Parker himself. Tom Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man has been widely praised for its depth and sincerity. Fans have followed Peter's journey from his first appearance in Captain America: Civil War to his emotional goodbye to Tony Stark in Avengers: Endgame, and the aftermath of that loss in Spider-Man: No Way Home. The future of Peter's character is one of the biggest questions moving forward. "I've been following Peter's journey for so long, and I really hope this movie does justice to how far he's come," said one fan. The stakes for Spider-Man are so high now, and Cretton's storytelling could really show how Peter matures without losing his youthful charm. Peter's growth as both a superhero and a young adult is something that fans want to see continue in Spider-Man 4. Cretton has proven in his past work that he can handle complex emotional arcs, and there is hope that he will maintain Peter's relatability and vulnerability while taking him to new emotional heights. Fans are hoping that the film will dive deep into Peter's internal struggles, especially now that his identity as Spider-Man is no longer a secret, and he's grappling with the consequences of that revelation. The role of humor in Spider-Man 4. One of the hallmark features of Spider-Man, Watts particularly under Jon Watts' direction, was the perfect blend of humor and superhero action. Peter Parker is a wisecracking, lovable character, and fans have come to expect his sharp sense of humor to shine through, even in the most dangerous or high-stakes situations. This balance of levity and seriousness has made Spider-Man one of the most relatable and endearing superheroes in the MCU. There is some concern that Cretton's approach, which is typically leaned toward more serious and emotionally driven narratives, might overshadow the humor that has made Spider-Man such a fan favorite. Shang-Chi had moments of humor, but they were often more grounded and less frequent than what fans are accustomed to in the Spider-Man films. Fans are hoping that Cretton will find a way to balance the humor with the more dramatic aspects of Peter's story, ensuring that Spider-Man retains his trademark wit and charm. "I love how funny Peter is, even when everything's going wrong," said one user. "I hope Cretton doesn't lose that in favor of making everything too serious. Spider-Man has always been about finding humor in the chaos." How will Cretton's direction impact the MCU as a whole? Spider-Man 4 will likely not only impact the character of Peter Parker, but also the larger MCU. The events of No Way Home have already had ripple effects throughout the multiverse, and with Cretton stepping into the director's chair, there's speculation about how the film will fit into the ongoing MCU narrative. Fans are wondering if Spider-Man 4 will serve as a standalone film or as part of a larger storyline that includes new MCU heroes, threats, or even villains. "I think Spider-Man 4 has the potential to be a key film in the MCU," commented one fan. "It could set the stage for future events in the multiverse, or even tie into the bigger phase of the MCU that's coming." Given Cretton's success with Shang-Chi, fans are optimistic that he will deliver a film that honors Spider-Man's legacy while continuing to move the MCU forward in exciting new directions. Whether it's through an exploration of new dimensions, deeper character arcs, or new alliances, there's no doubt that Spider-Man 4 will play a significant role in the MCU's future. Final thoughts: optimism with a touch of caution. Overall, the announcement of Destin Daniel Craton as the director of Spider-Man 4 has generated a mix of excitement and skepticism among fans. While his track record with Shang-Chi has left many optimistic about the action and emotional depth he could bring to Spider-Man's story, there are valid concerns about how his approach will impact the tone and direction of the film. Will Spider-Man 4 stay true to the humor and relatability that fans love, or will it shift into a more serious and action-flashy narrative? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: fans are eagerly awaiting what comes next for their beloved web-slinger. The Spider-Man 4 update has been one of the most anticipated pieces of Marvel news in recent months, and as the details of its direction continue to unfold, fans are eager to share their thoughts on what's next for their beloved web-slinger. The announcement that Destin Daniel Craton, the director of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, will be taking over from Jon Watts for Spider-Man 4 has sent waves through the Marvel fanbase. While many are excited by the potential for fresh storytelling, dynamic action sequences, and compelling emotional arcs, others are expressing concerns about the potential changes to the overall tone and feel of Spider-Man's world. Fans have flocked to Reddit and other social media platforms to share their opinions, creating a buzz around the new creative direction. The response has been mixed, with some users voicing excitement over the director's previous successes, while others worry that a shift in creative leadership could result in a film that doesn't stay true to the charm and balance that the first 3 Spider-Man films under Jon Watts had. The announcement of Cretton as the new director has been widely discussed across various online forums, especially Reddit. A recent thread on Reddit featured a range of opinions from fans, with users discussing their excitement, their concerns, and what they hope to see in the upcoming Spider-Man 4 film. One user expressed optimism, saying, "I'm really excited to see what Cretton can do with Spider-Man. He brought such depth to Shang-Chi, both emotionally and with the action scenes. I think he'll bring a fresh perspective to Peter Parker's story while keeping it grounded in a way that respects the character." This sentiment was echoed by others who appreciated Cretton's ability to balance high-stakes action with deep emotional beats. Fans were particularly excited about the possibility of seeing Spider-Man's action sequences taken to the next level, with many pointing out that Cretton's experience in staging martial arts choreography in Shang-Chi could provide Spider-Man with some of the most exciting fight scenes yet. Another user shared their enthusiasm for the potential inclusion of familiar Shang-Chi collaborators, such as the fight choreographer, saying, "Considering how well Cretton did with the action in Shang-Chi, I'm hoping he'll bring in the same team to help craft some amazing action for Spider-Man 4. Imagine seeing Peter Parker take on some intense martial arts villains. The possibilities are endless." However, not all opinions were entirely positive. Some users expressed skepticism, citing concerns about the tonal shift that could result from the new direction. Cretton did great with Shang-Chi, but Spider-Man has always had a lightness and humor to it that's really important. One user commented, "I'm worried that with Cretton's more serious approach, we might lose some of the fun and charm that makes Spider-Man unique." This concern was echoed by others, with some noting that the first 3 Spider-Man films directed by Jon Watts were known for their light-hearted humor, teen angst, and balance of superhero action. With Cretton's track record leaning toward more dramatic and action-heavy storytelling, fans were uncertain whether the movie would retain the youthful energy that made Tom Holland's portrayal of Peter Parker so relatable. On the more positive side, many fans are eager to see how Cretton's experience with Shang-Chi can translate into the Spider-Man franchise. Cretton was widely praised for its choreography, character development, and its ability to bring something new and fresh to the MCU. Cretton's handling of the action scenes was one of the standout aspects of the film, blending heart-pounding martial arts with moments of deep emotional significance. Fans are hopeful that his approach will elevate Spider-Man's action sequences, particularly with Spider-Man's acrobatic and web-slinging abilities. The success of Shang-Chi also gives fans confidence in Cretton's ability to balance action with character-driven storytelling. In Shang-Chi, the director was able to craft a unique narrative around the title character, emphasizing his journey of self-discovery and family dynamics. Given that Peter Parker's story has always been about growth, responsibility, and balancing the burdens of being a superhero with the challenges of being a teenager, many fans are optimistic that Cretton can bring the same level of emotional depth to Spider-Man's arc. Shang-Chi was amazing because it combined high-action scenes with such an emotional, personal journey for the main character, one Reddit user said. I think Cretton can do the same for Peter Parker. His ability to develop a character while keeping the audience engaged in the action is exactly what Spider-Man needs next. Additionally, Cretton's success with Shang-Chi and his prior work on American-Born Chinese has garnered him a strong following, with many fans trusting his ability to bring a unique cultural perspective to the table, which could enrich Spider-Man's world in ways that haven't been explored before. Given that Peter Parker is a character deeply rooted in his New York City environment, fans are hopeful that Cretton will continue to explore the diversity of the city while also bringing his own distinct creative style to the movie. While the optimism is certainly there, a growing number of fans are raising concerns about the shift in tone that could occur with the change in directors. Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home have been widely celebrated for their balance of humor, heart, and high-stakes action. Jon Watts' direction has been instrumental in making Peter Parker not just a superhero, but a character that audiences can relate to and root for. Some Reddit users fear that Cretton's approach might take Spider-Man in a different direction, one that could lose the lightheartedness and humor that has become so central to the character's identity in the MCU. I love that Spider-Man is still a kid, with all the awkwardness and humor that comes with being a teenager, said one Redditor. I just hope that the movie doesn't turn too serious or dark. Spider-Man's charm is that he's a regular guy who happens to have amazing powers. Others expressed concern that the introduction of Spider-Man 4's potential story elements, such as the continuation of the multiverse storyline or the introduction of new, possibly more serious threats, could pull the focus away from Peter's personal journey. What makes Spider-Man different from other heroes is that he's always had to balance being a superhero with his life as a teenager. I really hope that doesn't get overshadowed by all the big multiverse action, one user commented. Another user pointed out that while Cretton's direction worked well for Shang-Chi, the darker and more action-oriented tone might not fit well with Spider-Man's tone, which often leans into youthful optimism and humor. Shang-Chi was great for what it was, but I just don't know if Cretton's style will mesh with Spider-Man, they said. Spider-Man's always had that mix of humor, teen angst, and superhero action. I'm worried that with Cretton's more serious style, we could lose that balance. Despite these criticisms, most fans agree that there's a strong chance Cretton can maintain the essence of Spider-Man while exploring new aspects of his character. However, the question remains, how will the new director balance these elements? And will it live up to the high standards set by the previous films in the series? As the dust settles on the announcement, fans are beginning to focus on what they want to see in Spider-Man 4. First and foremost, they want to see Peter Parker continue to grow as a character. Spider-Man No Way Home set up a new chapter for Peter, with his identity as Spider-Man now a secret, and his life fundamentally altered. Fans are hoping that the upcoming film will explore the psychological toll of this new chapter in Peter's life, as well as the challenges he faces as he tries to maintain his relationships and responsibilities while being Spider-Man. I really hope they dive into the psychological aspects of Peter's life after No Way Home. said one fan. "He's been through so much, and it would be amazing to see him struggle with the isolation and responsibility of being Spider-Man without the support of his friends and family." Additionally, fans are eager to see the return of familiar characters, including Zendaya's MJ, Jacob Batalon's Ned, and potentially even other Marvel heroes. However, they hope that the story remains grounded in Peter's experience rather than just becoming another big, multiverse-driven spectacle. I want to see Peter's growth, but I also want to see him interact with his friends, his struggles with being a teenager, and how he's trying to balance his personal life with being a superhero. Said another Redditor, "In terms of the villain, many fans are hoping to see the introduction of a new antagonist who challenges Spider-Man in a way that forces him to evolve as a hero. There's speculation that the Sinister Six could be brought into the fold, but some fans are wary of introducing too many characters in one film. I'd love to see a fresh villain, someone who can challenge Peter's ideals and force him to grow, but I don't want the movie to get bogged down by too many characters," one fan wrote. As the hype around Spider-Man 4 continues to build, the fan reactions remain a mixture of excitement and caution. On one hand, the choice of Destin Daniel Craton as director brings a fresh perspective and potential for thrilling action, emotional depth, and a new kind of storytelling. On the other hand, concerns about tone shifts, potential loss of humor, and the weight of the multiverse storyline are valid points of contention. Fans are still holding out hope that Spider-Man 4 will manage to balance all the elements that make Spider-Man so beloved while introducing exciting new challenges for Peter Parker. For now, the anticipation continues to build, and only time will tell if Spider-Man 4 can meet the expectations of a fan base eager for the next chapter of their favorite web-slinger's journey. The announcement that Shang-Chi director Destin Daniel Craton will take the reins of Spider-Man 4 has ignited a heated discussion among Marvel fans. Cretton's selection marks a significant shift in the creative direction of the Spider-Man franchise as he replaces Jon Watts, who directed the previous 3 installments in the MCU. While many fans are excited to see what fresh energy Cretton will bring to the franchise, others are cautious, fearing that a shift in tone could drastically alter the beloved dynamics established in the earlier films. For years, Jon Watts' portrayal of Spider-Man has been characterized by a perfect balance of lighthearted humor, teen angst, and action-packed superhero moments. Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home all maintain a unique balance between Peter Parker's everyday struggles and his high-stakes superhero life. With Spider-Man 4, many fans are wondering whether Cretton can preserve this balance or if the movie will veer into new territory, altering the tone and style of Spider-Man's world. Reddit threads, social media discussions, and fan forums have exploded with mixed reactions since the news broke. Fans have been quick to voice their concerns and excitement, acknowledging Cretton's impressive work with Shang-Chi, while also pondering how his style might mesh with the more youthful, humorous approach that has defined Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man. Some fans express cautious optimism. Cretton's success in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings has certainly earned him a loyal fan base. The movie was widely praised not only for its action, but also for its character development and emotional storytelling. In many ways, Shang-Chi took a fresh approach to the superhero genre, incorporating deeper cultural themes and a strong family narrative. Given that Peter Parker's journey is also deeply rooted in his relationships and personal growth, many fans feel that Cretton could bring a much-needed depth to Spider-Man's future. "I really think Cretton is the right choice," one Reddit user commented. His work on Shang-Chi was fantastic, and I'd love to see him explore Peter Parker's personal struggles more deeply. I think Spider-Man 4 could benefit from a more mature, thoughtful approach while still retaining the action-packed moments we love. However, not everyone shares the same optimism. Some fans are apprehensive about the possibility of Spider-Man 4 becoming too serious or dark, which could drastically shift the tone of the films. The success of Spider-Man Homecoming and its sequels rested on the lighthearted charm that Tom Holland brought to the role. His youthful energy and humor were crucial to making Peter Parker both relatable and likable. With Cretton's darker, more serious style seen in Shang-Chi, Some fans fear that the movie could lose the youthful exuberance that's been a hallmark of Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man. "It's a huge gamble," another fan posted. "Cretton's films are good, but Spider-Man has always been fun. He's a kid trying to juggle being a superhero and just surviving high school. I just hope Cretton doesn't lose that balance." The central question in the ongoing fan debate is whether Spider-Man 4 will mark a departure from the established formula and take a different approach under Cretton's direction. Many fans are wondering if the movie will continue with the light-hearted, coming-of-age storytelling of the previous films, or whether it will adopt a more serious, action-oriented tone. Cretton's experience with Shang-Chi gives some insight into how he might approach the Spider-Man universe. The film was widely praised for its stunning action sequences, particularly its martial arts choreography, which showcased Cretton's ability to stage high-intensity, visually exciting combat. For a character like Spider-Man, whose acrobatic abilities and agility have always been central to his crime-fighting style, this aspect of Cretton's skill set has many fans excited. A more dynamic and sophisticated approach to Spider-Man's fight scenes could offer a thrilling new experience for audiences. "I'm so excited to see what kind of action sequences Cretton can come up with," one fan posted. "If he brings the same level of martial arts choreography from Shang-Chi, Spider-Man's fight scenes will be amazing. I hope we get to see Spider-Man using his agility in a more fluid and dynamic way." Still, there are concerns that a focus on action could overshadow Spider-Man's more relatable qualities. In the past, Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home focused heavily on Peter Parker's relationships with his friends, his love interest MJ, and his mentor Tony Stark. These personal connections provided the emotional backbone of the films, allowing audiences to empathize with Peter's struggles as both a superhero and a teenager. The humor and relatability of Peter's life outside of his superhero duties were integral to the success of these films. With Cretton's direction, some fans worried that these personal aspects could be downplayed in favor of a more plot-driven, action-heavy story. "I hope they don't forget what makes Spider-Man great," said another user. "It's not just the action. Peter Parker's humanity and his relationships with the people around him are what make him special. I just hope Cretton doesn't make it too dark or forget the heart of Spider-Man." At the same time, many fans are hopeful that the changes will help elevate the character of Peter Parker, taking him to new emotional depths. If Cretton incorporates a deeper exploration of Peter's psyche and the emotional toll of being Spider-Man, it could add a layer of complexity to his character that has been somewhat lacking in the previous films. The idea of a more mature Spider-Man, grappling with the consequences of his actions and responsibilities, could provide a compelling narrative shift that aligns with Peter's growth as he matures. "Peter's been through a lot. After No Way Home, his world has changed," a fan pointed out. "I think it's time for him to deal with the emotional fallout of losing Tony Stark and having to face the consequences of his actions." Cretton has a great sense of character-driven storytelling, and I'm hoping we'll see that here. While many fans remain hopeful about Spider-Man 4 under Cretton's direction, the announcement has also divided the fan base. Some fans see the change as a positive opportunity for fresh ideas and a new take on Spider-Man's story, while others are apprehensive about the potential tonal shift. The success of the first 3 films in the MCU Spider-Man franchise set a high bar, and Cretton's style is very different from Watts' more comedic and lighthearted approach. Cretton's ability to tell a compelling, emotionally charged story in Shang-Chi was widely lauded, and many are eager to see how he will bring that same storytelling sensibility to Spider-Man's world. However, as mentioned earlier, there are valid concerns that the film could lose the humor, charm, and teenage energy that made Tom Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man so endearing. "I'm excited but also nervous," one user said. "I think Cretton is a great director, but Spider-Man is so much about humor and relatability. I'm just not sure if he'll capture that, and I'm afraid the film will feel too serious or disconnected from what we've come to expect from the MCU Spider-Man." On the other hand, some fans believe that Cretton could bring the same balance of humor and emotion that has worked so well for characters like Shang-Chi, where moments of levity and heartfelt emotion were never overshadowed by the intense action. They feel that Cretton's experience will allow him to bring out the best in Spider-Man while expanding the character in new and exciting ways. "People are overreacting," one fan argued. "Cretton knows how to mix action with character depth. I don't think Spider-Man 4 will be too dark. It'll be a natural progression for Peter as he deals with the fallout of No Way Home. He's not just a kid anymore, and this is the perfect time for him to evolve. As the discussions about Cretton's involvement in Spider-Man 4 continue, it's clear that fans are excited, but also filled with apprehension about the potential for change. Spider-Man 4 has the opportunity to chart a new path for Peter Parker, exploring more mature themes while keeping the character relatable and grounded. Whether Cretton will succeed in balancing the lighter elements with the darker, more action-oriented aspects of the story remains to be seen. However, one thing is certain, fans are eagerly awaiting the next chapter in Spider-Man's journey, and are hopeful that Cretton's direction will help elevate the character to new heights. The future of Spider-Man in the MCU looks bright, but only time will tell if Spider-Man 4 can meet the high expectations set by its predecessors.